Do you know the story of Rob Booker's carry trade hack that he did way back in the day?
Was it CAD Swiss related?
I know that story too, but I believe it was actually the Australian dollar, Japanese yen. He spoke about how he made a great amount of money back
I'm
in the
assuming
day.
this would have been this might have been an 08, 09, or this could have been the
I think so.
2013. Yeah, when we had equal highs in
Could have been either
2013.
one. But here's the story in long story short. He did something brilliant. And, this is basically it. So here's broker one, here's broker two. And let's say we're talking about Aussie yen.
Okay.
In both brokers, what he did is in broker two, he shorted the Australian dollar against the Japanese yen. In broker one, he went long the Australian dollar. And before anybody starts foaming at the mouth at this is no longer something that is available. But Rob Booker killed it with this, and it was brilliant, and he made a lot of money doing it. And he talked about it in his videos. Rob Booker's for those of you guys who don't know him, he's a dude that used to be super active on YouTube. I think he's since still active, but taken a semi-retirement. Currency trader, wrote a bunch of books. Really, really smart dude. Anyways, let's say you're looking at Australian dollar against Japanese yen. He went long in one broker, short in the other. Now you might say, well, this is cool because if you know what a swap is, in this broker, the Australian dollar is offering high interest. The yen was offering, I think, negative at the time, or at least flat or something very low. I think at the time, the Australian dollar was offering like a 5% interest. So in this broker, he's collecting positive swaps, which are awesome, which over time compounds very nicely with leverage. Positive swaps can be massive. But at the same time, you might say, well, what if the Australian dollar fell apart and you just get destroyed? Well, he's short in this broker. But then you might say, well, not so fast. This swap in this broker is going to cost you more than the swap that you're making in this one. So this is a stupid idea. But it's not a stupid idea because what Rob Booker negotiated with this broker, and I don't have the stats, I think he had a personal relationship as an influencer. So again, don't foam at the mouth.
Yeah.
He said, no swaps, please.
Oh
and they said, yes. And he leveraged the absolute heck out of this thing.
Yeah, everything
you
could.
Made a ton of money hedging AJ, collecting really positive swaps. Genius. You can't do it anymore because you need a super special relationship.
Brokers will know. I mean, you better be the broker if you want to do something like that, because there's no way that brokers are going to give you any type of edge like that. That's incredible.
So to end the story, Chris, what ended up happening is that when a carry trade unwind came into the picture, the broker said no more, because what happened is in the carry trade unwind, the Australian dollar dropped massively and just kept dropping and dropping and dropping. And so he was making a tremendous amount of money on this short suddenly. And so the broker said, we can't honor this. You're making so much money. We're gonna have to pay you out. So they said no more, no swaps. And so he closed down the whole trade and he came out and talked about it publicly. I don't think he was telling the world what he was doing when he was doing it. He was enjoying it, while he could. And then totally legal, didn't do anything illegal. He just made a tremendous amount of money, essentially playing the advantages he found. Real quick, although you may not be able to get the same opportunities that Rob Booker got with his crazy broker deal, there are some really great broker offers down below in the description. If you'd like to check them out, again, there's some great sign-up perks available to you. Make sure to go shopping down below in the description. This is free money. You can get sign-up bonuses or free shares when you sign up. Just check out the brokers that are linked there and see if any of them look like a good fit for you. These are all regulated brokerages that offer special sign-up perks to my audience, so take advantage.
And to that point too, I mean, I've traded through the 2008, 2009 Forex, like seeing that deleveraging, that unwinding, and I've seen it through 2012. I've seen it through 2020. We saw it through 2022. One thing you'll notice there, if you go to that top to bottom, that is from 104 down to roughly 54. That's a 5,000 pip move. And you can see that there's no wave structure there, everybody. That is a straight cliff. So even if you're paying, if you're getting charged negative financing, but in the course of, this is a weekly chart, by the way, if over the course of, let's say, Nick, could you hold a trade for like maybe 3 months? 3 months and make 5,000 pips, and maybe a fraction of that would be your negative swap. I mean, when you get a move like this, the unwinding is going to far outweigh the negative financing that you'd be trying to avoid. But if you wanted to be a trader that's like, I'll never pay negative swap, then you better stay the heck out of way of a move like this and try to be a bottom catcher when eventually this thing goes 5, 6, 7,000 pips. And you're like, okay, now I buy the double bottom. Now I'll reestablish some type of carry trade position. And the nice thing too is, this is what I said, it will give you profits on a platter if you know what to look for.
Yes.
When this floor broke and it fell, we fell so fast. We bottomed out here. We had equal lows. We had a wedge. We had oversold conditions on multiple time frames. But look at this level right there. That to me is the perfect little spot, because we went from a high to a low to the 50% pullback. It's equilibrium and a pocket. This is what the beautiful thing is about the Forex market. Even in flash crashes, even in crazy moves like this, the balance is still there. And I mean, it still proves to this day, because it did it in 2022. You want to look at yen pairs in 2022, the dollar yen was the no-brainer carry trade in 2022, 2023. Here we are in the weekly time frame. Look at this. The dollar yen was right off the piggyback of the Fed. It would have been right here. I live it every single day, because I was a dummy in this trade. I had to hedge like crazy in other currency pairs. The dollar yen went from a 116 level to a 152 intervention. And that was 3 times before we finally got it to stick. But if I take a low right here and a high right here, and I put on a Fibonacci, you're going to see how good this Forex market is. Every single time it pulled back to the 50618. Just beautiful efficiency. And if you take it down to this other low, which is the lowest low, you can see that it still pulled back to the pip, Nick, on a weekly time frame, dude. You're talking about to the pip 50%. Wow. That's what's crazy good about this market. It's so obedient. And even though I said the Japanese yen can be very technically irrational, it can be, but there's still a higher time frame that makes sense. And that's why you just don't fight it. You just trade what you see. And I closed out some. I actually intervened on a robot today. I closed out some profit. We had the interventions. My robot took some of those trades on the intervention levels, and I got back in off the lows, and I took profit today. I did it early. My robots would have been needing another maybe 50 to 100 pips upside, which I think we can still get. But if we look at the actual Japanese yen right now, I think that what we have is, who knows? I think we have 160 that clearly there's some type of line in the sand right there at the moment, but doesn't guarantee that's the top. I'm a seller. We'll talk about this unraveling of the carry trade if the dollar yen is out here. Otherwise, this is noise. This is who knows what the BOJ is going to do. This is what rate cuts and monetary policy divergence is going to look like. So trade small. Don't be silly. Don't be a hero. And just let the Japanese yen be something that you watch, you monitor, listen to us talk about it. Look, I'll tell you when I'm trading it. If I'm in it and I like it, I'll be in FXY. I'll be in Japanese yen futures. I'll be trading currencies. But until then, I'm just building a plan right now.